The beginning of change in the world took place when the World War II came to an end in 1945. The war resulted in many casualties, such as deaths of civilians, which was the result of deliberate genocide, massacre, mass bombings, diseases, starvation, and concentration camps. On the other hand, innovation was booming. Technological advancement in products and engineering was made in all fields of naval warfare, which included aircraft, carriers, and submarines. Ultimately, the jet aircraft was introduced, which had a positive impact globally that led the jets becoming standard in air forces worldwide. The post-war era came to know as the golden age of capitalism and often referred to as the Second Industrial Revolution. The artists of deception were known as the Ghost Army. The early 1942 began of exploring their ins and outs. They started using the techniques like camouflaging in creating fake trucks, fake planes, and fake tanks, giving it an illusion of 30,000 troops, but in reality, there were only 1,000 soldiers. They also used speakers to play sound effects recorded at Fort Knox with the help of engineers at Bell Labs. The sound from this marching army could be heard 50 miles away. They also made sketches during this World War, using watercolors, pencils, crayons, etc. These illusions fooled the opponents by getting all their weapons exhausted. Thus, this created illusions, all a mark of creativity. Nylon is a synthetic, cheap material that was invented by Wallace Carothers in 1939 and later developed into stockings, which took the world by a storm. These stockings gained popularity overnight, due to which the supply failed to meet the demand. The war brought upon the rationing of nylon stockings and used them instead to make stronger parachutes and ropes. The supply of nylon dropped even more, with almost 40,000 women lining up to buy just 13,000 pairs. In the end, they resorted to robbery and riots. When no permanent solution was to be seen, they started to paint seams on their legs with brown gravy to make it look like stockings. An instrument too was invented to perfect the painted seam. However, the wait for nylon stockings to the return left them all helpless. The poem, When the Nylons Bloom Again, perfectly captures their wistful sentiments. Gone are the days when I'd answer the bell, find a salesman with stockings to sell, gleam in his eye and measuring tape in his hand. I get the urge to splurging on hose. Nylons a dozen of those. Now poor or rich were enduring instead, woolens which itch, rayons that spread. I'll be happy when the nylons bloom again. Cotton is monotonous to men. Only way to keep affection fresh, get some mesh for your flesh. I'll be happy when the nylons bloom again. Ain't no need to blow no sirens then, when the frozen hosen can appear. Man, that means all clear. Working women of US and Britain, humble dowager, lowly debutant. We'll be happy as puppy or a kitten, stepping back into their nylons of DuPont, keeping on smiling to the nylons bloom again, and the wax come back to join their men, in the World War that Mr. Wallace planned, strolling hand in hand. The war brought about mammoth changes. One particularly interesting and revolutionizing was the employment of women in America. For decades, the role of women had stayed the same: cook, clean, look after the kids, and just take care of household chores while the husband worked. But the onset of the war saw several of its men out of in its field were very few who could run the manufacturing of weapons and war essentials, and on realizing this, several companies put out advertisements encouraging women to work at the factory and to change the society's belief. Women who were once considered unfit for such important and dangerous work were now being sought after. Millions were hired in all fields of work. Events like these and the nylon riots helped the women find their voice and worth. They led to a riot 20, after where women stood strong and fought for equality.